Remember when everyone said Chelsea were just rich kids buying trophies but couldn't handle the heat? Those critics have gone very, very quiet because Enzo Maresca hasn't just fixed their attack, he's built something that breaks football itself. From ruthless new signings to wonder kids rewriting the script, Chelsea's attack is evolving into a weapon so sharp it could cut through any backline in Europe. This is why Chelsea's attack should be feared by every team in Europe next season. For months, Chelsea were a team in transition. New faces, new ideas, but the pieces didn't quite fit. Then came the Club World Cup, and with it, a turning point that nobody saw coming. The attack began to click, the patterns were sharper, the combinations faster, and the goals ruthless. It wasn't just about scoring, it was about sending a message that Chelsea were building something dangerous. Fast forward to the present, and you can trace a direct line from that tournament to the demolition jobs we've seen in preseason. Against Bayer Leverkusen, Chelsea's front line looked fearless. Estevao announcing himself with a debut goal, João Pedro sealing the game in stoppage time. It felt less like a friendly and more like a warning shot to the rest of Europe. And then came AC Milan, 4 goals, each one a different kind of strike. The penalty precision of Liam Delap, the unstoppable form of João Pedro, the chaos created by Estevao. This wasn't luck, this was structure. This was the blueprint of an attack designed to overwhelm. Since that spark at the Club World Cup, Chelsea's attack hasn't just improved, it has transformed into something relentless. And the scary part? They're only just getting started. Because in João Pedro, Chelsea have found their spearhead, not just a finisher, but a conductor of chaos. Before setting foot in Stamford Bridge, he had already survived the grind of the championship with Watford, lit up the Premier League with Brighton, and amassed over 200 senior appearances before the age of 23. That experience bleeds into every movement. 5 goals in 5 preseason matches, each taken with the composure of a striker who knows the net, will ripple before the ball even leaves his boot. Defenders can't read him, goalkeepers can't time him, and his link-up play turns half chances into inevitabilities. Alongside him is Liam Delap, a true product of the Manchester City Academy, who made his name through a series of growth loans before exploding at Ipswich. City's youth system shaped the raw power and finishing instincts. Loan spells at Stoke, Preston, and Hull added the hard lessons. Then a permanent move to Ipswich in 2024 let him prove it in the Premier League. He arrived at Stamford Bridge as a proven goal scorer, athletic, direct, and ruthless in the box, and his brace against AC Milan was a reminder that Chelsea's second wave can change the game in minutes. And then comes the wild card, Estevao. At just 17, he's already showing shades of the Brazilian greats. Raised in the same Sao Paulo footballing streets that shaped Neymar, he plays like the game is still 5-a-side. Fearless, sharp, and impossible to predict. In preseason, his quick feet and one-on-one bravery have already forced opponents to tear up their defensive plans mid-match. Surround them with Cole Palmer's ice-cold vision, Pedro Neto's lock-picking creativity, and Jamie Bino Gitten's explosive width, and you have an attack that isn't just multi-layered, it's an armory. They can dismantle you slowly, slice you on the counter, or stretch you to breaking point. Chelsea's front line used to be predictable. Now, it's a puzzle no one's solved, and the pieces keep getting sharper. Enzo Maresca has done something rare in modern football. He's built a system where every attacking piece enhances the others. Chelsea's shape and possession shifts seamlessly, with fullbacks tucking inside to overload the midfield, while the wingers hold their width to stretch the pitch. This gives the central attackers the pockets of space they crave, and once they receive the ball, the tempo instantly rises. Transitions are now a weapon. The moment Chelsea win possession, 3 passing lanes open, 1 to feet, 1 into space, and 1 behind the back line. This 3-option system forces defenders to guess, and more often than not, they guess wrong. Against Bayer Leverkusen, it meant rapid combinations that turned midfield steals into one-touch finishes. Against AC Milan, it meant tearing through their defensive block before they could reset. Equally important is the rotational freedom. João Pedro can drift wide, Palmer can step into central zones, Estevao can appear between the lines, and the structure doesn't collapse. The result is constant movement, attackers appearing in places defenders least expect, forcing them to defend space rather than just players, and that is a nightmare to deal with. Maresca's system doesn't just unleash Chelsea's attack, it weaponizes it. The players aren't just executing roles, they're reading the game in real time, adapting and punishing every mistake. In this setup, even a half chance can turn into a goal in seconds. Right now, Chelsea's attack is like a weapon in testing, devastating in controlled conditions, but yet to be fully unleashed. That will change the moment the competitive season kicks in. Premier League defenses, Champions League backlines. Every one of them is about to face something they can't prepare for. Why? Because this isn't a one-dimensional force. Stop Joao Pedro and Estevao dances past your fullback. Close down Cole Palmer and Liam Delap is already sprinting in behind. Block the wings and Nito slices through the middle. This is not an attack you shut down by neutralizing one man. It's an attack where every player is a game winner. And the beauty, or the terror, depending on where you stand, is that this is only the beginning. Chemistry is growing, movements are becoming instinctive, and Maresca is still adding layers to his blueprint. Every week, the patterns sharpen. Every match, the finishing gets colder. If they're this ruthless in preseason, imagine them in full flow by December. Under Enzo Maresca, pressing is no longer just about effort. It's a rehearsed, synchronized trap that suffocates teams before they can breathe. Watch the first 15 minutes against AC Milan. Chelsea didn't just push high. They baited Milan into playing a pass that looked safe, then pounced with a three-man squeeze. Joao Pedro angles the press to cut off the center back's passing lane. Cole Palmer shadows the pivot midfielder, ready to intercept. Reece James steps into midfield as the trigger, and suddenly the ball is Chelsea's in the final third. 2 passes later, it's in the net. The genius lies in how layered this press is. The front line sets the trap, the midfield springs it, and the back line sits high enough to crush any attempted escape. It's risk with structure, the kind of aggressive defending that forces mistakes without leaving space behind. The numbers prove its impact. Chelsea are winning possession in the attacking third 8.4 times per game this season, up from just 4.1 2 seasons ago. That's double the opportunities to attack against an unsettled defense. And in modern football, those turnovers are often worth more than any set-piece routine. Maresca's blueprint borrows from Guardiola's rest defense, keeping 2 or 3 players ready to smother counters, but adds an element of unpredictability. Sometimes the press comes in a 4-3-3 shape, sometimes it shifts to a 4-2-4 with Nato or Gittins pushing alongside Joao Pedro to lock down the back line. Rivals can prepare for the shape on paper, but in real time the angles are different every attack. Against Milan, it was suffocating. Against Real Betis in the Conference League, it was ruthless. And as the season progresses, this defensive attack is becoming Chelsea's silent weapon. A tactic that turns every opponent's build-up into a gamble they can't afford to lose. Europe has seen great attacking sides before. Barcelona's MSN, Liverpool's front three, Manchester City's machine-like dominance. But what's brewing at Chelsea is different. It's younger, it's hungrier, and it's being built with the sole purpose of tearing through the continent. This isn't hype. This is the reality every rival coach will have to face. The storm is gathering, and when it hits, it won't just be about wins. It will be about statements. Ruthless, undeniable statements that Chelsea are here and they are coming for everything. The rest of Europe can analyze, prepare, and hope, but hope won't stop what's coming, because when a team has this much talent, this much tactical precision, and this much hunger, the question isn't if they'll break you, it's when. So remember this moment, remember this warning, because months from now, when Chelsea are tearing through Europe, you'll look back and realize you saw the storm before it hit. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to stay ahead of the game, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell, because the next chapter of Chelsea's rise is just beginning and you won't want to miss it.